So hello. I hope you guys have your coffee and tea this morning. And welcome and thank you for joining us for our summer bridge session. Today we'll be covering the basics of a Canvas online course at Mount SAC. So I hope y'all ready for this. Okay, let me share my screen. Oh, by the way, we have live caption right now. If you go at the top of your screen, there should be a red light button and it says on Otter Live Notes. And if you hit that drop down button, it will show view stream on Otter Notes to see our captions. So hopefully they can translate it correctly. If not, you can just listen. So let me share my screen. And all right. So how do we access Canvas, first of all? Well, we access Canvas through our Mount SAC Edu. And you would have to press that portal login and you were given a username and password. So you would use that and oh, it's already logged in for me. Well, when you logged in with your username and password, you would see our portal. And you see this Canvas tab, so you would press that. And there should be a big blue button that says log into Mount SAC Canvas. And you can press that. And right when you press that big blue button, you'll enter your dashboard. So a dashboard is, it contains courses that you are enrolled in or any student center that you have joined. So in this case, I have courses that I was enrolled in spring semester. If your Canvas dashboard does not look like this, don't worry. Summer session has not started yet, so your dashboard won't look as much full as mine. So as you can see, I have my courses right here. I have my student centers here. I have the Canvas Student Support Center, the Honors Up, the STEM Center, and more. And so right here at the side, we have our global navigation toolbar. So we have our profile that shows your name. We have our dashboard, our courses, where you can see your courses that you are currently enrolled in and previous courses if you press the all courses button. Then we have our calendar. The calendar is like the underdog of the whole Canvas experience. So calendar helps me personally see the deadlines for assignments, discussion forums, exams, and quizzes for all of my classes. And you see right here, my calendar is pretty full from last spring semester. And I have I'm able to see my deadlines, everything, and I'm able to choose what courses I'm able to see too. For example, if I just want to see our Canvas course, I can just press the buttons of courses that I do not want to see. So I don't want to see this course or this one, or let's see, and this one. So I'm able to see that one course that I want to see for my deadlines. So going into courses, let's go to our Canvas course. So for the home page, every professor is different in how they set their Canvas course. It can be an announcement, a syllabus as their homepage. In this case, it's a little introduction paragraph of what the course is about and what it shall pertain to. And then we have our syllabus right here. So the syllabus is like the holy Bible of your class. So make sure you go and review over it because it contains information of how you should communicate with your professor or any Zoom meeting calls or topics and subjects that you'll be going over your classes. And at the very bottom, some professors do have it, some professors don't, but it contains the course summary. So in the course summary, it shows an overview of assignments, exams, quizzes that you'll be taking. And it will also show you the due date and when it is due. And it's nice to see what you're expected to do in the course if you're looking through course summary. So the next one is announcements. So announcements is a way for your professors to communicate you on any additional information about the course. For example, they can send announcements about lab reports or any assignments, or even before an exam when they ask you to attend a Zoom meeting. The professors can do that. And next we have our modules. So modules, as I said, it's different for every professor. Some professors can have it sectioned off into chapters. Some professor may have sectioned off into weeks. But for modules, for each section, it contains either notes, homework assignments, discussion forums, exams, any readings that you need to do, and media recordings. So the purpose of modules and having different sections is for students to keep a steady pacing. Some modules might be locked off, might be available at a certain date. That's because your professor wants everyone to be on the same pace and don't want that one person to do all the work in a day or a week. And if you're running into trouble and saying, oh my gosh, this module is locked, don't worry. It's probably because you're meant to do it the next week or a different day. And then we have our assignments. So, let me change to student view. Let's see. Okay, so if we go to our assignments tabs, we'll be able to see all our assignments that we're supposed to do. We can either see it by the type of assignment, such as project, discussions, exams, and homework, or we can show by date. So we can prioritize what assignments is due and focus what you need to do on. So there might be some questions about how to submit an assignment or what do we need to know about an assignment. So let's go with our first assignment, the homework. So make sure when doing assignment, you read the assignment instructions, of course, but you also need to know what your teacher preferences for file types. Some teachers can have only one file type available, such as docs, or they can have PDF. In my experience, my chemistry professor had made us post our assignments in PDF form, and he didn't accept anything else. So make sure you look through your syllabus, and if it's not there, what your teacher's preferences are, just email him. It's hey, Professor J, what do I need what file type do I need to submit? And then, yeah, so if you're ready and you're done with your assignment, you press this big blue button, submit assignment. And then you choose a file of what is given. For example, I don't know, I want to submit this. I open it. Oh, I can't submit it because it's not within the preferences doc, PDF, or text. So be wary of that. And if your professor requires you to do text entry, you make sure you open a Google Doc or a Word doc and you type out your answers, and then you can copy and paste onto the text entry. in my experience, I find it easier to type on a Word doc and copy and paste, just in case if I lost any of my data, because it's not fun when you lose all your work. It's not really any fun. And then next we have discussions. So discussions is, let's see. Oh, okay. Whew, that scared me. Anyways, discussions is a form of like class interaction. It's where students participate in submitting their their posts, and students have a chance to respond or comment on their discussion posts. So we can access our discussion posts through different ways. So we can either access through modules, where it is separated into chapters, or we can access them through the discussion tab in the course tabs. Let's see, and you'll see the available discussions. So let me go to chapter 1 discussion, we'll see. So in the discussion forum, there'll be instructions of what you need to do and what requirements that you need to fulfill for your initial post. So here's a little tip. Even though you see the due date right here, due June 24, that is when the discussion forum is due, the whole thing. However, most professors have the deadline for the initial post different from the discussion forum deadline. So what I mean by the initial post? Well, the initial post is the very first thing you post regarding the discussion and what your professor wants you to do. So make sure you carefully read through the instructions, because it will say when the initial discussion is due. For this instance, let's see, prepare and submit initial post by deadline, this post, whatever. And you must post your initial post before you're allowed to read your classmates' posts. So let's say this discussion forum is due June 20th. The initial post is due June 20th. Make sure you reply right here. You type out your answer in a detailed form of what the discussion forum wants you to do, and then you post reply. Let's say, hello, everyone. And before you can see anyone else, you must post your reply. And then right after I post it, I can see my classmates' post. And I can even respond to the post by hitting reply. I can also insert any links or files. Let's say I want to reference a website that I use in my research. So I would put research, and then I would link to our URL and paste it right here. And it would, the outline of the word would still be there, but once you press the word, it will link you out to that article. And beware that your professors will also require you to reply to another student, as you can see right here, in order to get full points. So next off, we're going with quizzes. So quizzes. So there's different structures for quizzes. So what do I mean by structures or how it's formatted? We'll take the quiz. So I'm taking the quiz. Oh, well, I already took it. So let's see if I can reset. Oh no. Let's see. Oh. So some quizzes would only allow you to take it once, and also you're not able to go back a question too. So when you see this little box, it's warning you that you're not able to do your previous question. So be aware of that little box if your professor put that function in. So once we begin, let's see. It says how many classes I'm taking. Let's say I've taken one. Once I press next, I cannot go back to that question. You see, I tried clicking it, I cannot go back no matter what. And then what will be your preferred way? Let's say laptop. When you're taking a quiz, make sure you don't mistake the submit quiz button because that's really scary and it can lead to complications between you and your professor. Make sure you hit this big blue button next. So who is Mount Sax? I wonder who, let's see that. And then, no, it's 6. And I submit quiz. And right after you take the quiz, it will show your answers and what you got correct and what you got wrong. Some quizzes don't have that. Some professors will set up the quiz where you're able to see the answers after a time period. For example, my chemistry teacher didn't want us to take the quiz at different times and whatnot. So he would actually have the quiz due let's say due at 12 and you're able to see the answers at 3 p.m. So be aware of that. So another type of quiz that we have is, is where you can take multiple attempts. So most quizzes that I've taken can either have 1 attempt or 2 attempts at most. And make sure you see what's your time limit and make sure you see what's your time limit and when it's due. So let's take this. It's the best. Yes. And you'll experience fill in the blanks and essay portions. For fill in the blanks, professors might already type in the answers for these, and you might have like a spelling mistake or like it's close to the answers. Don't worry, your professor will review these questions and see if it's right or wrong. We also have essay portions where you write a paragraph or 2 or whatever to fulfill the requirements of the question. And you would say, let's say, hello world. And then after I am done checking, I see everything, I submit quiz. And I'll be able to see what I got wrong again and what I got correct. And there's this little asterisk that says, there should be a little asterisk that says, professor has not graded it yet. So if you see your score like 2 out of 3, or for example, this response would be 5 points, like 5 out of 10, don't worry. It's just that your professor hasn't graded it yet. So if you get like a lower score than you expected, do not worry. Because that happened to me before when I was starting out. I was like, oh my gosh, why is my score so low? And I find out that, oh wait, my professor hasn't graded my essay portion yet. So after quizzes, we have our group projects. So let me go back to settings, student view. Let's see, there we go. So I go to assignments and I see by type. So I have my group project right here, share your knowledge of Canvas. Whoa, so for group projects, professors usually require only 1 student from a group to submit their assignment. When 1 student submit the assignment representing the group, other group members might have the assignment like saying, oh, it's late and all that, but don't worry, your professor would know that, oh, it's a group project, like they're all in the same group. So it might show as late as yours, but as long as that person submitted the assignment, you're good. Let's see, we have grades too. Grades is the most important thing in the class. We'll see. Okay, so we have our grades right here. So right now, my grade isn't looking so good. It's 50%, but that's only because I took, which quiz? This quiz, like quiz 1. So it's 2 out of 4, but it might not look good in the beginning. However, when you progress into the course, you'll earn your points and your grade and scores. And so you see all these dash marks. So that means that my assignment has not been graded or submitted yet. So what I can do with these dash marks, actually, I can manipulate the scores to see what I need to get for a good grade or like an A in the class. We'll see. Oh, look, so if I get 100% on the exam, I'll get 98% in the class. And you see this little discussion form? So I can still press a different grade for that. Let's say I get 5. Oh, look, a 98.17. So when you're looking at your quizzes too, you see this little rocket. So that means, oh, the instructor is working on the grades, because remember that quiz has that fill in the blank and that essay portion. So it has not been, your grade is not ready to be submitted yet. So after that, we have our files. So we'll go to files. So files is where the professor put like his notes, his PowerPoints, any media files, chapter notes, or like references. This is where it all goes. It's like a dump of all the materials that you'll like pass through in your course. And then we have our Zoom meetings. Okay, I cannot see my student view. So let's see. So Zoom meetings. So Zoom meetings are more for synchronous classes. So there's 2 types of classes. There's asynchronous and synchronous classrooms. So synchronous classrooms use Zoom meetings for live lectures or any like lab to meetings. So for live meetings, they're usually a set date and time, well, day and time. For me, for my chemistry class, I had Monday and Wednesdays from 9:30 to 2 p.m. So it was like a five-hour class. And my professor would require us to participate in Zoom meetings by typing in our answers and making sure we were there. There's some students that turn off their video and audio and thinking that they can get away in participating. But my professor was really strict in participation and required us to answer those questions. And sometimes your professor would set up Zoom meetings through ConferZoom in this little tab right here, or sometimes they would post a link on announcements where you would have to go back to announcement to attend the meeting like on Monday and Wednesdays, because that link can be is like recurring meetings, so you can reuse it all over you want. And then asynchronous synchronous classes doesn't really require a Zoom meeting. It's more at your own pace, where the professor posts assignments and modules or like any projects you need to do, but it doesn't really require like face-to-face meetings.
They may also have pre-recorded lectures for asynchronous.
That's true. Thank you. And then how to contact your professor is the most important thing that you need to know in case you have any questions or issues. So one way that you can contact your professor is if you want to do like quick and just that you need to contact him, you go through the help button right here in the global navigation bar. You press that and you see all these links, and you press this one ask your instructor a question, and you choose whatever course that you want to contact your professor in. Let's say I want to contact my professor from Camp Ambassador Sandbox. Make sure you have a detailed like email of what your issue and problem is. It won't help if you just says, oh, I need help with Zoom. Like, why do you need help with Zoom? Like, are you not, do you need the link? Are you not accessing it? Can you, is your internet connection working? So make sure when you contact your professor, it's in a detailed note. Don't put one sentence out. That doesn't really help, and that requires like a lot of communication back and forth. It's better to have a detailed email in the beginning. Another way you can contact your professor is through inbox. So inbox is right here. And then you see this little box with the pencil. I press that to compose a new message, and then I select what course I want to contact my professor from. So I do that, and 2, I can either type it out, or I can just press this, the person in the little box again, and I press teachers, and I press my professor, and I insert my subject, let's say, help in Canvas. And I put, hi, professor, my name is blah, 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 blah. I need help with this. This is not working. And I just send. And let's see. And that's about it for Canvas.